Inspiration sparks and raises our vibration, encouraging all of us to live our best lives. And it is my pleasure to welcome our speaker for this evening, Lelia Cutler. Lelia teaches classes in meditation, mediumship, and a series on comparative religion, classes on healing, symbolism, spiritual regression, and biblical spiritualism. She also leads workshops in public speaking and platform decorum. Lily enjoys singing and playing the piano, and it's a warm harmony welcome to Lilia.
Thank you. What a treat. When Bonnie asked me to fill in today, I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? So I went looking in my little books because she likes readings from little books. And I found this one that's called What Happens After Death? And it's by David Winter. Now, what? Confirm your speaking language? Do I not sound like it English? Okay. Get that out of the way. Remove spotlight. Okay. So I decided that what I would do is I would share with you a section from this little book. Now it has a lot of Christian attitude about it, but I feel like that David Winter had a good idea when he wrote this because he was picking up things not only from the Bible and other, but he was putting self into it. So it says, what is heaven like? Sitting around playing harps for all eternity sounds pretty boring. Will there be things to do? And I would ask that question. Yes. Will there be things to do? The Bible tells us that heaven is better than our present life. I sure hope so. Okay. Beyond that, all it gives us is a series of pictures, mostly in the form of visions of what heaven is like. So actually, the question is well worded. We are told what heaven is like, but given no descriptions. They're going to make us wait until we get there to find out. The reason is simple. Heaven is quite literally beyond our comprehension. And I agree with that statement. Can you imagine trying to explain to a caterpillar what it's like to be a butterfly soaring over the garden? Or to a baby what it is like to play the piano? Some babies do, you know. I remember being told that as a very young one, just old enough to stand on my toes and reach up to the keyboard of a piano and having fun, playing what I wanted to, right? So we have nothing with which to come. Heaven is another kind of life, and we have nothing to which to compare it. It is a totally new existence. Now that I look forward to. The fact that a new existence gives us new opportunities and new insights into ourselves. So we have to make the best of the pictures that the Bible gives us. Now, we know that the Bible was written 400 years before it was actually put out for people to read. And the fact that there are words there shared with us in a written form that may be a little different from what we are experiencing or have experienced in life. So that in itself gives us an idea that we are looking for something that is more perfect, something that is more in tune with who we really are. Okay. They come in, these pictures come in two main varieties. In the Gospels, Jesus constantly spoke of the kingdom of heaven being like this or that, a net, a tree, a field, a pearl of great value. In these parables, he was concerned with the principle of God's kingdom and that place where God's will is perfectly done. Now, that I question. The place where God's will is perfectly done? Are we going to feel it? Are we going to see it? Is it going to be something that we're going to be comfortable with? I thought, well, it should be, while it is beyond our earthly comprehension, I feel that it is not beyond our comprehension of a higher, just an experience, I think it will be interesting. We can, of course, experience something of that on earth as the principles and standards of the kingdom are applied in human life. Your kingdom come, you will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Whoa, oh, we're going to experience here what we will experience when we get out of this body and go on to a more perfect place. I think that sounds interesting to me. But heaven is where the kingdom of God reaches its fulfillment. And the pictures of the kingdom mentioned in writing, wherever, the Bible or whatever, the Quran, whatever, they point to this. The net is pulled in, enclosing all those who are to share in its joys. Hope that includes me. Yeah, the field produces its harvest, and the time of reaping comes. The precious pearl, bought at great cost, can now be appreciated and enjoyed. Well, I don't know. My pearls are not that expensive. They're just those that we wear in their neck, right? Okay. But the kingdom begins now as people submit to God's will, but only reach its fulfillment when we get to that elevated area called a heaven. Okay. And I think what we're trying to do is just define the word heaven and what it means to us in some way. So the pictures of the parables tell us what sort of place heaven is meant to be and the standards that will apply there. They're going to be different from what we experience here. They're going to be different. I think it's going to be more interesting and more inciting and exciting. Wow. The other pictures of heaven are quite different. They are amazing, stunning, and at times terrifying. Visions written down by John in the last book of the Bible, Revelation, in a series of sweeping impressions, whether like a dream sequence in a film, he is allowed to pull back the curtains and give us a glimpse of what will take place. Well, we know that when it comes time for us to elevate and to rise above this existence we are presently residing in, then it's going to be very different for us. I think I'm going to feel lighter. And it won't be because I had to diet. Okay. I think I will feel lighter and I think I will feel more enthused and excited about the place that I'm going to experience. Now, the temptation is to treat these visions as though they were literal, like a television documentary. Yeah, wow. But that is to misunderstand them completely. Terrible confusion has always come to those who insist on treating the book of Revelations in this crude and literal way. It is simply not that sort of book. The written word that has come down to us in so many different, shall we say, opportunities that have been given, that written word, as we take it like we can understand it now, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be very different from what we understand now. but it is part of the written word, and Christians regard it as inspired by God. Well, they do, but there are also a lot of other people who expect and who understand that what we are impressed with from that heavenly existence could be very different from what we have experienced so far. It is meant to teach and correct us to show its truths, which are beyond unaided human reason. So we are entitled to look at these pictures with the eyes of faith and to learn what we can from them. So I have a faith that I won't have to walk with a cape. I will feel much better. And I feel like I will see those who are dear to me who have gone before. And when I see all those who have gone before and who are there waiting for me, in this place called heaven, I think it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to learn, to share, to be. Among the visions is a glorious, beautiful, and peaceful picture, which Revelation calls the New Jerusalem, the perfect city of God. But the New Jerusalem is just a description of what we can possibly expect. Doesn't say it has to be that way. It doesn't have to be a New Jerusalem in our understanding. It can be new as to what we're going to experience when we get to that elevated, wonderful energy source. Most people have picked up some ideas from the visions that have been written in various places, like the pearly gates. Well, I don't expect pearly gates. I'm sorry. Streets paved with gold. I don't expect that either. Why would they do that? Walking on gold? Nah, I don't think so. So, walls of jasper and a sound like that of harpists playing their harps. Again, it's unhelpful to take all of this literally. We should not be taking it literally. We should be taking it as a suggestion, maybe. It's a picture of perfection, no expense spared, as they say, but I don't understand why we're told these things, because I don't think that's what we're going to experience. When we look at the vision more closely, we see that the gates are never shut. There is no night. Now that one bothers me because I like looking at the moon. Death, mourning, tears, and pain have been abolished in this heavenly elevation, heavenly city, heavenly existence. There is no pain. And so that I look forward to, no pain. Okay, then that means I can walk and I can run just like I did when I was a kid, And I think that's exciting to think about. A river of living water flows through the great streets, rising from the throne of God and watering the tree of life, whose leaves are for the healing of the nations. Wow. We're going to heal the whole world just because we get there? I don't think so. But I think that we might be a part of that wonderful opportunity to envision what can be for our greater good. As with all visions, the details are probably unimportant and may even distract us from the true meaning of what we're seeing. I think that's possibly true. I really do. It could distract us and help us to actually envision what our heaven can be. This is not a picture of what heaven is like in terms of geography, architecture, or music. It's like the song that was sung in this service, I like that song. Okay. And I feel like that it's going to be something that is heart lifting, that is energized, that is going to be for the greater good. I doubt if human minds and imaginations are able to go beyond that step. And incidentally, the picture includes this sentence: his servants will serve him. Okay, there will be things to do, and they will form part of God's unending work. We shall not sit on wispy clouds playing harps, but we shall have good, fruitful, satisfying activity. We shall perfectly at last serve him. Okay. The fact that you and I can't visualize it is neither here nor there. I can't visualize the creation of matter or the infinite power locked into a single atom, but they're real. There are a lot of things that are real that I can't visualize because I'm not a scientist. I'm just a, a retired banker. Oh dear. Okay. And so it's not for us to put limits on what God can do. I don't think we should have any limits. I think we should say, okay, this is what is real when we get to that elevation, when our energy rises to that wonderful opportunity of being a part of something much greater and much more interesting and much more satisfying than what we expect here. Okay. But what does matter is that our spirit, the real me as it returns to God, should know him and trust him, because it is faith and trust in God that opens up a whole new way of living after this earthly life is ended, in a completely new environment, which the Bible calls heaven. So it's just a description, it's just a name given to a place that we don't really know yet. I don't think any of us are going to actually know the existence of heaven and how we can interact with others until we get there, you know? And I'm going to see my parents, I'm going to see my brother, I'm going to see my lost love, and all because I'm expecting to see them. I think that when we get to that wonderful elevation of energy called heaven, or whether that's a true description or not, it's going to be something that we are living with, that we are comfortable with, that we are sharing with those around us. I can just picture in my mind my mother laying in the bed and me giving her a kiss goodnight. And when I get to that elevated, wonderful energy that is just called heaven, I can also do that again. Yes, I think that our expectations for the rising from this earthly life to a heavenly life are going to be so different. It's going to be an experience we can take with us and experience lovingly, okay, with those who have gone before. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are. Thank you.